program is ready to begin, we ask of everybody, please, out of respect, that there should be complete silence for the duration of the program. Rabbis, government representatives, Jewish communal leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is with a heavy heart that we gather here this evening to remember and to honor the victims of the horrific terrorist attack in Mumbai. We extend a special welcome to the Honorary Malcolm Turnbull, leader of the federal opposition and our federal member for Wentworth. Representing the New South Wales Premier, the Honorary Christina Keneally, MP, Minister for Planning, Minister for Redfern, Waterloo, and State Member for Heffron. The Honorary Peter Debner, MP, Shadow Minister for Infrastructure, Shadow Minister for Energy, and our State Member for Vaucluse. Councillor Andrew Petrie, Mayor of Woollahra. Mrs. Judith Fergan, the United States Consul General in Sydney. Mr. Eli Yerushalmi, the Deputy Ambassador in Canberra for the State of Israel. We will also watch a special video message from our Prime Minister, the Honorary Kevin Rudd. This tragedy in Mumbai truly touched a deep nerve. With so far, there are more than 1,000 memorial services held worldwide. Tonight's event is also unprecedented in terms of Jewish unity. It is being hosted by Chabad of New South Wales in conjunction with many communal organizations, including the Organization of Rabbis of Australasia, the Rabbinical Council of New South Wales, the Executive Council of Australian Jewry, the New South Wales Jewish Board of Deputies, the Jewish Communal Appeal, the United Israel Appeal, the Jewish National Fund, the Zionist Federation of Australia, the State Zionist Council, the Embassy of Israel, New South Wales Chabad houses and synagogues, the Australasian Union of Jewish Students Network, and the Jewish youth groups. We welcome all the representatives of those organizations here this evening. But most importantly, each and every one of us here tonight deserves credit for coming together in these very trying times. Our hearts and prayers go out to the people of India and to the innocent victims and their families. Amongst them, we mourn for two of our very own Australians, Brett Taylor and Doug Markell, a former Deputy Mayor of Woollahra Council. As for the Jewish community, we are especially shocked and pained by the deliberate targeting of a Jewish center, a Chabad house, whose entire purpose was to spread Yiddishkeit to their fellow Jews and goodness and kindness to all of mankind. We also grieve for the people who were brutally murdered in the Chabad house on that fateful day. Leibish Teitelbaum, Ben Zion Kruman, Yocheved Orpaz, Norma Schwartzblatt, Rabinowitz, Hashem Yinakim Dama, may Hashem avenge their blood. On a very personal note, Chabad emissaries from around the world are grieving over the loss of our colleagues to whom we feel very connected, Rabbi and Rebbitzin Gabi and Rivki Holtzberg. My name is Rabbi Yankee Berger, and together with my wife Leah, we run the Chabad Center in Double Bay. Unlike us, Rabbi and Rebbitzin Holtzberg did not have the comforts of Sydney life. 5 years ago, they set out to a much more distant land, establishing Chabad of India in the city of Mumbai. I can only imagine their feelings of excitement and honor when they embarked upon their mission to bring the light of our heritage and mitzvahs to that end of the world. Just 11 days ago, Friday the 30th of November, myself and hundreds of thousands of people around the world were glued to their computer screens, watching a live feed from outside the Chabad house of Mumbai, praying with all our might, and hoping with every fiber of our existence that the hostages inside would safely emerge. We didn't know how many people were inside. The only thing we knew was that amongst the hostages were a rabbi, a rebbitzin, and a little baby boy. Suddenly, there was a glimmer of hope. A woman emerged. She came out of the building carrying an innocent, angelic bundle of sweetness, a baby with eyes full of tears, whose image has been engraved into the minds and hearts of a very bruised world. But probably the most disturbing of all, the most compelling image by far, is of little Yeshivah at the memorial service in Mumbai before they got on a plane to Israel, screaming for his mother, Ima, Ima. It was quite obvious that he's too young to understand, too young to comprehend what just happened to his mother and father. And he doesn't understand what it means to be an orphan. He's also too young to recite Kaddish, but his cry is absolutely deafening. The world was introduced to Rabbi Gabi and Rebbetzin Rivki behind the ugly backdrop of their death. But as time goes on, we're seeing more and more images of their beautiful life, their selflessness, and their devotion to the calling. The way they lived their life is absolutely legendary. In truth, we are taught that there's no such thing as death. Life doesn't end. When a person passes away, they merely pass on to a different world where we exist in our soul format without our bodies and enjoy and take pleasure in the divine. There's no doubt that Rabbi Gavi and his wife Rebbetzin Rivki are in a very high place in heaven. As for baby Moshe, may God, who takes parental responsibility for all orphans, may God heal his broken heart and grant him good health and strength. But tonight's memorial is not only about them and about all the victims, but it's also very much about us. Tonight's memorial begs a question. The question is, what is our response to Mumbai? How is it going to impact our day-to-day lives? Tonight we did not come together to merely bemoan the fact, but to bemoan the fate that we are a persecuted nation. But we've come together to respond to the call of the tragedy in Mumbai in the traditional Jewish way. What is the traditional Jewish way? The same way in which our parents and grandparents, the survivors, demonstrated to us how to respond when they responded to the greatest Jewish tragedy ever just 65 years ago, by rebuilding and committing not only to the survival, but to the thriving of Am Yisrael. So tonight, Rabbi Gabi and Rebbetzin Rivki, we turn to you. We will look at your example, how you lived your lives, and we will gain strength. May God bless your little Moshe, that he should be healthy and well and walk in your ways. And may we all follow in your ways. Both of you are truly living examples. On your chairs, you each have a booklet. It contains elements of tonight's program as well as articles from Rabbi Ben Sion Maleki of South Head Synagogue, Rabbi Yosef Feldman of Southern Sydney Synagogue, and Rabbi Levi Wolf of Central Synagogue. We will be referring to the booklet throughout this evening's program. I now call upon the President of the Rabbinical Council of New South Wales, Rabbi Mendel Castell, and the Chief Minister of the Great Synagogue, Rabbi Jeremy Lawrence, to say a prayer. They'll be reading Psalm 121 in Hebrew and in English. It can be found in your booklets on page 3. Please rise for the prayer.